Next up, we have, it's either Ledong Times or Happy Times or something like that, featured by Alisa, featured in Rolling Sky, as my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you use, like the video, share the video, comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel. Thank you for 600 subscribers here, by the way. How to request songs if you're not on the live stream, members getting early access to the content. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. With that, let's go ahead. Artist is Yang Dongewi. Yang Dongewi, yes, from the Alisa channel. Okay, Yang Dongewi. All right, let's go. Let's go. Happy times, I think. All right, classically VIP. Welcome to the. Hang on, let me double check. Did we do this one before? No. Fuck. Hang on. So we start with a synth, giving us how are we doing this one? I mean, it's what I mean. How are we doing this one? This was featured in Rolling Sky, right? So we're having Starlight Desert. There you go. So Chatz's Era of Joyful Movement. This one has so many different titles, but yeah. So we start with a bass drum giving us that initial beat. We have a synth giving us that first melody, which I believe contains our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And credit card company and Twitch, yeah, that's banking. Welcome to banking. It doesn't work half the time. So can I get the title anyway, but it was one enough. No, I know, right? So yeah, then so we do something interesting. That the first repetition is we do the first version of the motif, the full melody, and the second time we do the same rhythm, but we hold the note. Let's see where this goes. More elements in the drums, more percussion. Oh. Okay, no. So the second one, yes, from Live Q. So the second run is not. Okay, the second run is octave displacement. So I got it wrong. So it's not that we're just doing the same note. We did octave displacement. So octave displacement, as the name suggests, is when you displace which octave something happens in. So we're doing octave displacement in a matter of in a way of sequencing. So, sequencing being a way that you can develop your material in which you repeat a melodic idea from a different starting point. So, for example, if I were to have this over here, let's say I have this sequencing, we can do a full sequencing, which means we're going to repeat this idea from a different point. That kind of thing. Or you can do partial sequencing. We could keep the first note the same, right? Kind of thing, and then we can use a little bit of octave octave displacement doesn't quite apply for this one, because we just did a sequence. It was just sequencing, because what we did over here, first time and then second time, we ended up just moving which octave from here to here, and kept the first one. There you go, idea. Welcome today. How you doing? And oh my god, this one is one of my favorites when it comes to Mozart. God, I love that one. We have done Aria Math. Yes, we've done Aria Math. That one is. Hang on. I need to recall which one that one is. And Spotify. What the fuck? What do you mean installing Spotify? Eh? I had it booted up like 2 hours ago. What the fuck's wrong with you? Anyway, that melody by Mozart. That is from the Nozze di Figaro. That is number. That is from the first act, I think. No. It's the second one. It's it was number 23. Yeah, 23, the finale, E quella Marzia. Yeah, it's from Le Notte di Figaro. It's one of my favorite pieces. It's so simple and I love it. Anyway, so what happened is we had the sequencing. and instead we did it the other way around. Let's see where this goes. I mean, that's what you stream? Well, now you did. Okay, so now we have a new variation of this, which is now we are adding some arpeggiation to this. So an arpeggio is when you play a chord one note at a time. So here's, for example, C minor. Here's arpeggiated. So yeah, we're having that, and I think we are doing an arpeggiated elongation. So elongation being another way that you can develop your material in which you play a slower version of something you've done before. So what we are doing here is, I think we had the original melody, right? We had the original melody, and now what we are doing is the elongation would mean that you're either playing a longer notes or you're adding more silence in between. And what we are doing, I believe, is that we are taking these notes over here and adding more space between them, and in the meantime, adding chord arpeggios in between from the same point, and basically turning what could be, let's say, for example, this melody over here, right? To something like that kind of thing, right? So we are doing that with arpeggiation. Let's see where it goes. There's another synth higher up doing another version of the melody as well. 11:32 a.m. Nice. Yeah, and there's a couple of other synths doing other variations of the motif. We have this one that's sliding back up and down to the different notes that we are doing. There's a lot going on over here, but in essence, we are still just doing different variations of the motif and just mashing them up together with a little bit of counterpoint. Counterpoint being the study of melodies, how they are, how they develop, how they interact with one another, usually in the context of having multiple at the same time, as is happening over here. Yes, it is, classically. Yes, it is. All right, let's see where it goes. Now we are getting octave displacement. So we have a synth higher up giving us a little bit of rhythm, and now we are getting some octave displacement. Yeah, we got a little bit of lag when Spotify booted up, because Spotify is a stupid fucking company that decided to reinstall the fucking software when I tried to boot it up today. So yeah. Anyway, yes, classically, this was live, and this was requested by somebody else. So, octave displacement, as the name suggests, is when you displace which octave something happens in. Now, let's break this down, right? So, octave. What is an octave? An octave is an interval. Interval being the distance between notes. So, how do you determine this? There's many ways. You can do like absolute values based on the chromatic scale, or you can do easier with just you take a scale and you count from there. So let's take the scale of C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and let me just go ahead and copy paste this a couple of times. Here we go. So the way an interval works is you have the note from your point of reference. Let's take C because it's a scale of C major, and use that as your root or as number 1. So C would be 1, then you can count up or down. If we count up, D would be a second above, E would be a third above, F would be a fourth, G a fifth, A sixth, B 7th, and then C, instead of calling it an 8, we call it the octave. This is where the term octave comes from. It means that the note is repeated again up or down the range of the instrument. So when you're saying something was within an octave, that means between the note and itself, whether up or down. Usually it's referred to up, within an octave up. So octave displacement means that we are having some sort of melody. Let's take C to D to E to G. Very lovely melody that we're doing. Now, octave displacement means that we are going to play the same notes in the same order, but not necessarily in the same octave. So, C to D to E to G, we can do C to D to E down to G, where you can see over here, this is a very different shape than what we did before, but we are still playing C to D to E to G. So, instead of going Now we have this one, and I swear this one sounds like the you know in Japanese anime where you have the school bells sounding. This is not the melody. It just sounds way too close to it. It kind of just sounds, because I think the usual is what? Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this one. That's it. I mean, we didn't change that much, but yeah. So yeah, we're doing some octave displacement, and we are doing it by virtue of repeating the notes, right? So instead of doing the rhythm over here, now we're doing that kind of thing, right? So let's see where this goes. Ooh. Okay. Just like that, okay? So we now switch over to a piano, we swap the full drums with some claps, and we bring in two things. One is a call and response. We now have the piano doing now reductions of the motif, reduction being the opposite of an elongation when you play a faster version of something you've done before, and we're doing a call and response. Call and response being a musical conversation between parts. We have the piano we have a piano and a synth in the back. So they have the piano doing something, and then the synth, when the piano ends, the synth does something else in response. And the type of call and response we are doing is called canonic imitation. Canonic imitation is where the call and the response are the same thing. We are imitating the same thing as you are hearing right now with the piano and the synth. They are doing the same thing, but as a call and response instead of any other thing. Let's see where this goes. Now we switch to more counterpoint. We had a couple of extra instruments. And now just the piano doing an arpeggio. Collapsing and... Okay, we drop the beat and we bring multiple layers doing this new version of the motif, which is a more extended version of the melody, and we are having a lot of doublings. Doubling being when you have more than one instrument playing the same thing at the same time. You can hear the multiple layers. You know, we have like this synth that kind of sounds like a chorus. We have so many of the instruments, and we're having a bit of other things going on. Let me hear a bit more. We're having some arpeggios in one of them. And... nice, Frenzy, nice. So now we engage in some good old dubstep and electronic like EDM. We are now doing the call and response between the melody and the rhythmic section. We are introducing a pseudo whoop whoop bass, and we're having this BV, and welcome today. How you doing? So yeah, let's see from Steam. Well, it happens, yeah. Let's see where it goes. All right, moving to the next part. We have a pan flute? So yeah, now we're still doing the call and response. We are having the first half of the melody being done by the synths. Second half, it sounds like a pan flute. The pan flute being this one over here. Very beautiful, very folk instrument that, yeah, very, very, very beautiful one. Popularized, of course, by Peter Pan. So yeah, let's see where this goes by the story of Peter Pan. We have another flute there. Now we have some, like usual. And we do some direct modulation. So, modulation is when you go from one key signature or scale to another key signature or a different scale. There's many ways of doing it, and the whole point of this is to give you a bit of a paradigm shift, to change what foundations you are using. You can do, of course, based on the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths, of course, being this chart over here. If you're a musician, or if you're aspiring to be a musician, this is one of the most basic things that you will need to learn, because this becomes foundational for everything else. If you don't know your circle of fifths, you're going to have a very difficult time for a few other things. So, yes, we're going to get into direct modulation, not necessarily. So, we are having this, and usually the way that you modulate, you can see we have the key of C, we have the key of G, the key of F, which is based on fifths, right? So C up a fifth is G. The difference between C major and G major is that you take the F, turn it into an F sharp, C down to F major, that's down a fifth. The difference between C and F major, C major and F major is that you take the B down to a B flat for F major, and you have this, so each fifth in either way will have one note difference between the two keys, which means the more common notes, the more common denominators you have, the easier it is for you to modulate between one another using stuff like common chord or common note, stuff like that. But what we are doing is called direct modulation. Direct modulation means that you were in one key this entire time, no process, no smoothing out, you just straight up go to the next one, giving you that very sudden sense of a shift. In this case, we're doing the step up. We're going, we were in C major, very nice. Very nice A major. And now we're in D major. Now we're in D major. That's basically what direct modulation does. We don't do a process. We don't do anything. We just go from 1 to 2 as it has happened over here. Let's see what this. We're having the arpeggiated version of the motif. Another direct modulation. And, no, Raylan says, no, kicking somebody in the balls is not going to have a good effect in singing, especially if you're trying to reach higher notes. If you want a male vocalist to hit higher notes, and you want a physical intervention, a rather unorthodox method that works is grabbing ice and putting it on the crotch. Like it actually works. Like, this is unironically a way that you can get male vocalists to reach higher notes. You have them put ice on their balls, and that's it. So, what even is that method? That the coldness of the ice makes you shrink, and with that, your testosterone shoots down, and the vocal range goes higher. So, we're talking about torture. It's not torture. It's an actual method. I know several people who have done it to hit higher notes. It actually happens. If you want to talk about torture ones, you're talking about the castrati. The castrati were it's no longer a thing nowadays. Nowadays, they're just sopraninos because people that are born like that. But the castrati, they used to be, because back in the day, back in the days before Bach and whatnot, women were not allowed to sing in church. And composers still needed the women's range for it. So what they would do is that they would take little boys, and they would castrate them so that they couldn't hit puberty the same way, and that way their voice wouldn't drop. And if your voice doesn't drop, you still have the range of that woman, and you are able to hit those notes more likely. And thus were born the castrati. So yeah. Anyway, so let's see. We're having one more run of this. Let's see how this ends. One more version. It's kind of messed up. It's 600 years ago, yeah. Like, even for the time, they were not very comfortable with that. But that's just how people were back in the day. Because it's either this or we let women sing in the church, which, nowadays we know. And even back in the day, it was like, should we really? Like, is that really a good idea? But it was a church, so yeah. All right, so yeah, now we have a retrograde for the very, very end. We are doing a retrograde of the motif. Retrograde. So, retrograde is when you are doing a motif or a melodic idea backwards. So let's say we have this over here. If we do a retrograde, we have that. So yeah, we're doing that. I went back a couple of seconds. Let's see how this ends. Alright, we reach one more We finish the phrase one more time, everything breaks down. And with that, there you have it. That was the song Ledong Times, Happy Times. We have so many different names from this by, what was the artist's name? Hang on, I have somebody here that gave me the Era of Joyful Movement by who was it? Hang on, let me see. Can I pull up your chat over here? I need to pull up by Dongewi. Okay, there we go. Sorry, because I can't read this language. So yeah, there you go. That was Era of Joyful Movement by Dongewi, featured in Rolling Sky, is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this has been the Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever channel you use. Like the video, share the video, comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first, whether it's the streams going live, the videos going up at the channels, updates, projects, giveaways, everything gets announced there first. Of course, we have the community there. We hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own, and where I host the Vintage Story. Community server. It used to be a Minecraft mod, now it's its own standalone game. Come on. It's its own standalone game. I love it. I prefer it. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just really like the game, to the point that I built a PC just to host the community server for it, which is available via the Discord community. So join the Discord today, linked in the description. Join the Vintage Story server and whatnot today, linked in the description. Also share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, so linked in the description. Help the channel grow. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you'll get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim from Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central Europe. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. So, if you live in Las Puertas, the doors, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch. Both are linked in the description, and they're both going to show the schedule in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are bastard. Thank you again for 600 subscribers here already. I really do appreciate it. This is where the gaming after show recordings VODs happen, or go to. We play video games in the second half of the stream, and then the VODs of which end up over here. Lately, we've been playing through Olympus Company. I've been doing the best, worst voice acting you've never heard of. I'm having such a good time. And yeah, every game that we play eventually just ends up here. So linked in the description, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just up the J for a G, and you got it. And, yeah, there you have it. Era of Joyful Movement, Dongewi, Rolling Sky. That was good, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But, yeah, let's move on.